Alright, I got bird, already moved d4. My opponent goes knight f6, and well, let's go c4. Make it into normal crouch, nothing funny. Could go anywhere from here. e6, still could go anywhere from here. Could go knight f3. Avoid the pin, but nah, let's go into the gauntlet. Allow Nimzo and etc. And now the biggest problem in the Nimzo is that you have to decide which of the million different moves is the right way to go around here. I mean, I guess g3 is also a move. I mean, this would be the classical approach. So let's go main line, I suppose. Just avoid the doubled pawn here. So c5, my opponent instantly hits the central pawn, which we cannot go forward with because the pin here kills. It just take twice, no good. Wonder if a3 is okay here. I could just take and be in get the pin off. I mean, they don't have to retake, they can go for knight a6 or something, or even maybe queen here. I guess they could go queen here against a3. I'll go here. They'll take though. I still cannot take this guy here. So if I go a3 queen here, I'll take. I think there's some line where I get tripled pawns. I go for, yeah. Let's get tripled pawns. How bad can that be? Well, I'm not sure I can hold on, but we'll see. We'll see. This is probably not the line here, but whatever. I think takes or knight f3 or something else was probably better. I mean, I don't know. This might be actually the line. So now we have to decide which way do we take back here. Both make some sense. Just some, but some. Towards the center with the pawn or with the queen. But we might get hit by the knight. And then some. I'm just little questioning my life decisions around the check part. I guess if I hit the knight, the check is not gonna be such a problem because I can play b4 and he can take it, but the knight is hanging here, so it's fine for a move. Of course, I can always block with the bishop and then we trade everything here. Whatever. Of course, he can also take and get another developing move, which is true. The plus side is that we have the bishop pair, and I am eyeing this d6 as a possible outpost in the future. But as far as I see, I can, if knight goes here, I can go here and check b4. Can allow takes because there's nothing super dangerous around the discovered checks. I just block it and I mean, actually, maybe b2. Here he gets one pawn more, but that's just 2 pawns for a piece. And this is probably gonna die. Alright, I mean, this of course looks decently natural to chop and get the developing move. I hope that's gonna be something, but of course they could maybe play d5 and get out of there. I don't know, maybe I should go queen d3 there. I mean, here, d3. You know, a square that doesn't get hit by the knight, I mean. Assume I have to take back, though. Assume I have to take back. This is the moment I was talking about, that retreat into a non-attacked square. And I can block the checks with the bishop here, and also he maybe keeps an eye on the old d5 here, even though it doesn't stop it. I don't know, maybe we'll build some kind of a Maraxi bind here. Of course it's on the way of the bishop here, but I mean, ideal world we would snap the bishop there and there. But my opponent says no. He is probably threatening knight e5, hitting this twice with tempo, which we should probably stop. Is he threatening anything else? I can stop that with knight f3. Probably what I'm gonna do. How bad can a developing move be? I hope I didn't miss anything obvious. I don't know, maybe we could get g3 and bishop here, even though it's really slow, but like maybe this bishop also wants to be on g2, and like we keep the pawn at home here. Even though there is something tempting about e4. Just playing against the d5. I think I'll just go. Because so not only it gets this out here, but it also maybe is coming here. Even though they do have d5 and probably can say no. And actually, now that I think about it, bishop f4, e5, e4 is a huge problem for me. Huge. I don't know, probably here. Maybe the bishop goes here though. Questions this guy a little more. But that's where we're gonna go anyways. Well, whatever. I need to get castled at some point. Maybe just can I just ignore it? I have b3 at some point if needed. I have b3. I don't have to do it yet, do I? Like knight here, b3. I guess d5 is unpleasant. I guess d5 is unpleasant. I don't know. Knight here. I don't care. It looks kind of flaky, but I also think that I might have some fun here. Unless, I don't know, maybe he just goes there and increases the pressure. It might be a horrible idea. Instantly goes there. Well, definitely cannot take it. Definitely cannot take it. So, I guess we have to. Okay, I'm gonna have a really crappy pawn here. Yeah, I should probably have taken this more seriously. Again and again. Good part is that if the knight moves, I can always maybe go here, and I don't know, they probably can take here though. And then take here. Probably, well, guess with the pawn. I mean, I don't have many options around here. This is gonna win a pawn, right? Well, it's probably true. And by probably mean it's 100,000,000% sure true. Alright, he instantly also gets there out of there with tempo. Well, that's a bit disturbing. Go here, e5 still. Do I even have a good square around here? I don't know. I'll go queen c3. Kind of actually hoping that they'd go there and give me like a tempo on the knight. Of course, this is probably undoable. It's hit by 3 guys instantly. Now I have no funny business with the knight defense and the bishop here because he got tempo there. Of course. Well, and I guess my plan of going here is gonna fail to this nonsense here. You. You, I say. You. I mean, technically that would be hit in the end, but does that matter? And even this sacks this pawn in the end too. Yikes. I don't want to go here because this hits that, even though there might be some pins in the end. I don't know. I'll allow this. Could have gone there, but I think he just takes here and then I don't know. What was the point to begin with? At least here I can take the knight. But if knight goes here, then, well, I'll attack the knight, but he can still take probably here. No, but then I can take and take. And at least if he takes the bishop, then we're getting a mate in the end. So here. Hopefully get a move, even though it's still attacked by 3 and can't do much about it. But like if he plays g6, then the pawns are like this, and maybe we could have some funny business on the dark squares, question mark. Of course he can also take. And that seems like a clean pawn. Even though I can actually probably attack these. Except he has takes, and then gets the knight out. I was gonna say that the knight would be at that here. I could double the pawns and probably wouldn't matter if I'm down a pawn if they're double a pawns. But yeah, probably gets the tempo there, and then moves the knight. But then I would have a bishop pair at least. He has 2 versus 1 on this side. It's a bit murky. But bishop pair is something. What else? Well, what else? Guess he could go technically here too because the pawn is pinned. Not sure that's in their interest though, but technically possible. I could just like it's actually kind of hard to find a square, isn't it? I was gonna say that there is 2 things hanging, so it's a problem, but where do I stick my queen? In a way that it doesn't get hit by something like knight here or bishop here or something. I'm attacking this. I guess here, but then there's a fork, no. I guess here, technically possible, yeah. Maybe queen c2 is a safe square. And then he has a knight and a rook. Alright, so I'll go queen c2 anyway. What else? That was the plan. Chop, chop. And chop. And now that is attacked. So we're kind of hanging on by a threat here, like, ooh. Who knows? It probably won't work, but you never know. Yeah, this probably was a good example of how not to play the Nimzo. White is just in trouble. I have never ever studied the main line of Nimzo in any capability. I've seen a few games, but if I look at the games, I usually don't pay too much of attention to the opening phase. If it's not an opening, I actively play. All right, now let's take back. Checkmate threat. Take my pawn. Please take my pawn. Please, please, please. I don't think he's gonna take my pawn. G6. I mean, I assume my play is not gonna be enough there though. I can have a check, but since my queen is not ready already here and he's gonna have some tempo on my queen here, it's going to be a little bit brutal. We could maybe defend the pawn in a way that will be creating some kind of a pins. We could, no, it's very hard because I can't really get here because this takes and then defense this jumps around. We could of course sack the pawn here, but then he has like a clean extra pawn there. Even though it's isolated, it's also passed, and I don't know how much of a fun is that gonna be. And then the bishop is gonna be here already. Anywho. Any point of like there. It's the pawn, threatens a really empty check. It's an empty check without the queens on the board, that's the point. I could go here and there, and then threaten an actual kind of a build check. But the problem probably is going to be the queen here, offering a trade there. I can give my check there, but king g7, and then I have nothing since the queen is blocking, so no discoveries. Nothing fun. Then I'd have to trade the queens, and then I have to move the knight, and pawn is hanging, and it's just end of days there. No follow-up, nothing. So if I go here, queen takes. Queen b2. My knight is hanging here, but it's not attacked yet. Or not hanging, but loose. I guess he can take straight up here. That's a problem. That's a freaking problem. That is a problem. And I don't see how I could, where my queen would go. Because this is hanging for sure. And that is going to be a bad times. Bad times. I see some little counterplay with some kind of like a rook c7 hitting things. But I'm down a pawn, maybe two. I let him take there and take a tempo there to get here. Yeah, and it's not even obvious that I can actually get there. Because I don't see how or why should he actually move a minor piece away from here. I mean, of course I could dodge here, let him take here, then take here, hit the bishop, but even the bishop could just come back and block my freaking file here. I guess I could stick the queen here. But then there's also that not only this, but that. Like their queen has so many options. I don't know, maybe like this is somehow the best. Even though I don't think so. It just is not. Meh. It is just not good. It's just not good. Well, I'll do this. I don't see anything. Oh, I already planned that I was gonna... Well, okay, maybe it's best. I already was planning of playing the bishop here to do some, I don't know, creative defending, but then I decided that this potential fork is all something we have to avoid anyways. Well, problems, a lot of problems. Well, I'll go here. Oh my god, my mouse just died. Let's blame that one for this. To put on the wire. I hope it works out. Yay, we're back. So he has this move, he has that move, at least. Maybe some others. I mean, actually this move too. Offering few trades here and there. So we could chop, go here, but maybe he blocks and I can't get through here. So I'll try this Desperado here. Because at the moment I don't see a way to offer a queen trade here. Even though the queen is definitely in the wrong place around here. But I feel like this has to be my only play, like somehow get this here, or I don't know how I would get it here. Oh, actually, I mean, it's not threatening this now that I think about it. If he doesn't somehow defend this square. And this is even a mate threat. Hooray. Of course he can do this or that or, I don't know, something else. And now maybe we could add a third attacker there. Well, this is turning out much better than I expected. I was mostly just like thinking of the... Or somehow like maneuvering the knight here, but there's other possibilities. There's always possibilities with the weak king and the queen and the knight. We did sack few thingies. Wonder what would be their best move. Like rook d7, maybe. Yeah, that would probably get out of like this and defend this more. And even defend against this. Rook d7 looks really good. But maybe I can then do this move. Except there is probably this, and then it's not a trade I really want to allow. The problem probably is that I have no really good moves for the queen. But I don't know, some greedy queen move is probably bad for them. Like something that they see that they attack a pawn while attacking this would probably be a bad idea. I mean, even this, well, that doesn't attack there, but at least does defend the rook, so this doesn't work so well. All right, so this is not an instant threat. I mean, it is, but this is bigger threat because it's threatening checkmate in 1. So I think I can do it and do it. He does go there though. And then I do have a rook and a queen hanging. And I have no check though. It is a pawn though, because he wins the exchange back in the end, but... Oh, I guess he's on this guy in the end too if I take back here. Well, that is borderline disgusting. That is borderline disgusting. Guess we could go queen here and take back with the queen. I regain 1 pawn. He moves the queen away somewhere. Hits this and that at the same time. Well, quite disgusting. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, we could bring the rook here. He could bring the rook here. No, that's probably too much. Check. Block. Don't I have anything funny around there? Why not? Why can't I have something funny? I don't want to hit the queen and like force him to... Like, is this good or just take first good? What is their move? Because if I go there, they definitely are gonna see this move. Now I'm not 100% even though it technically does work. It like it maybe is accidental genius or just genius, but... I guess knight moves here. Defend e6. Oh, but the e6 doesn't need defending. This needs defending. Still doesn't have a square to offer a queen trade, right? Like, no, no, no. Well, I mean, this might technically work, right? But it's not really a matrix. Since I don't see how I mean, the look... maybe this is the best. Who knows? I'll go with this because it's a bit trickier. But I didn't see how my thing works though. And then in the end somehow like this is gonna fail badly. I see, he's threatening a checkmate instantly. Well, now I see why mine failed badly. I already already like thought about this, that doesn't work because it is defended once, but it is not defended once. I mean it is, but it's attacked 3 times. That's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Yeah. And now just takes and block and checkmate is gonna end the game. Meh. So annoying. I thought I have some funny business there. Well, allow it, but since that is covered, technically I can maybe try something, but of course I lose a piece here. I have some pressure here in the end and this covered, so I'm not gonna resign instantly, but horrible. I mean, we could probably go also here, but then he can take here, so it's probably better to just sack the bishop and go here. And he doesn't have at least this here. threaten mates. I mean, it looks horrible. But we have some threats here. We have some threats here. Yikes. I mean, this is such an obvious tactic too. I don't know. Somehow I like blanked on it. Thinking that this is defended enough because the battery is like wrong way around, but it actually is the right way around. Well, he's thinking for a long time now. I mean, it is actually kind of hard to see how he defends this in the end, like chop, chop, chop here. But this is a huge problem. How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? Like knight f, knight d2. I'll take here with the rook, some kind of a in-between check here. Blocking this diagonal or the file and the defense here. So if I take here with the knight, you can take here with the queen and then murky things happen. But maybe you can even take with the queen and then have this defended enough in the end. Because we have the rook here and the knight here. And he can't take here because of the, well, we just take and take and take and end up I mean, yeah, we have a rook here, so all forced. Now, show me the money. Oh, queen a1. Disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, queen a1. It's my queen. I didn't see that move. Probably should have, since it's a pretty obvious move. Then if I don't trade the queens, he can go here. Oh. Not Johnny, not this. Now I take here, right? That's not a thing. I mean, it is a thing, but we end up with stuff, right? He can take here. I'll take. No. I'll take here. Queen takes, I'll take the queen, and the rook still can't take here because the rook's in between. How does this work, though? How does this work? I don't understand. Am I stupid? Like maybe knight here, but still take here. Well, I guess he will educate me about them. Why this doesn't work. I guess he will educate me about this. But I'll take here with the queen, right? Not with the knight. Covered. This is still a mate threat here. Alright, this did not work. Queen a1 worked. Or probably worked. Unless something happens horribly. But if I win this game, it was just by pure luck. Oh, shoot. It is disgusting how stupidly unfair game chess is. But yeah, I don't really see anything that... I think we can do the funny checkmate here. And then even here, this is mate, right? Yeah, it should work. Hope it works. Holy moly. GG. Opponent resigns. Alright, let's look at this nonsense here. Alright, let's look at from the top. What should we have done? Hey, c5. So, yeah, I knew this is like probably the right move. I wanted to try this, which is probably not so good. Even though apparently it's all zeros. Queen takes. Alright, so this makes of course sense. Take here, take here. Redevelopment. The downside, of course, you have given me the bishop, but I mean, technically the bishop and I don't know. No, that bishop did not win me anything. But okay, this one it actively hates. We have gone out of theory already at this part. Queen d1 is much more popular here. Okay, not much. Actually, Queen d3 works much better in the statistic wise. Even though probably doesn't make a difference. Here. Okay, so what should we do here? I mean, it's not like it hates this a lot. Oh, sorry, this one. This is probably okay still. Stopping any nonsense here. But instead of g3, even though I thought it looks natural, but and apparently their response that was good was somehow inaccurate. It's very academic, like if 0.1 turns into minus 0.3, that turns to plus 0.2. It's like who cares kind of a differences. But here I should not have castled. I should have played b4. Oh, it has instant threat too. So if they now do d5, well, if they do d5, b5 hits my queen, and I guess the point is something, queen's hitting their rook. Rook defends the pawn, takes, defended, but gets really murky, except maybe we can block, and I don't know what's going on here. It's too murky. And also I don't know if that's at all correct. But let's assume it's all right. Well, b4 would have been interesting. I assume I have to take it because that's now hit 3 times. Seems to make sense. Seems to make sense. I mean, here, of course, you can go here. I could go here, or I could castle. Is this playing with fire a little too much? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting though. This did not work at all though, because d5 instantly is too strong. And I thought I have some counterplay here at some point, like, but I did not. Even though apparently again this move that makes so much sense is somehow computer says no. That gives like a half of his advantage away, which makes no sense at all. But whatever. I guess if I could have done the tempo at some other point. Alright, this is not at all as bad as I thought it was. Computer says minus 0.1. This was not even bad. This somehow blunders the king. Did I really miss that the freaking bishop hits the queen? How can you miss that kind of a thing? Bishop is just gonna live happily here. Oh my god. Does not matter. I mean, he gets a lot of pawns, but still don't. A rook is a rook. Oh, yeah. Okay, of course he should probably just take here and then, I don't know, take here and have some play for the exchange. I don't know who takes. Let's say queen takes. I mean, it's not much, but it's something. But just not even looking at this move is unacceptable. I don't know why I didn't even see that. I did go here to pin a freaking knight, right? We did go here to pin a freaking knight. But then we don't see that the knight moved and don't even look at this move. I did not even register that the rook was hanging here. Ridiculous. This was all right. Next time I am completely lost. Okay, so after this, should I take here? Because I saw the line here, hits the queen, hits the rook. This is defended, so we don't have any funny business here. Meh. Let's say queen defense there. And this seemed a little problematic, like just move the queen somewhere. Have the rook attacked, and then how do you deal with this nonsense? Oh, this even defends this one accidentally, so can't even have funny business with the exchange sack, because I can't take here and have some ponies for the exchange and checks. The checks could be like little, but no. Alright, so let's look at things. So the move I did, this does not work. It just loses. This is the best move somehow, but it's not good. Queen c7, okay. And yeah, that is gonna be a problem. Queen a2 is exactly. Sometimes plays like a computer. At least I see my opponent's threats like a computer. How to stop them I don't see at all. Apparently this is also fine. Hits the knight. And if knight goes here, then we take here. They still take it, block it. Queen d4. He takes some. Oh, at least we did defend this. Yeah. Couldn't I have done it in my line too? Like here. No, I don't have a queen here to defend this. Knight is still here. So rook b1 just to dodge the knight out. Now he has no time to take anywhere because mate. Small differences, but at least in this line I get here. And then chop, and we have this covered. Down a pawn, but their king is somewhat open. So chances, except e5. Queen e3. I would hate to trade the queens. Queen b2. I'd hate to trade the queens. Check. And then it trades the queens because otherwise takes and we die. Alright, so this did not work. Rook d1 is the best move. Here only move is h3 or h4. They should take, and then, yeah, like I said in the game, I did not see this move. My opponent didn't see it, but it makes a lot of sense. And then the problem is that they are maybe like if I try to hold on, well, actually here even. Yikes. We can't take here because of the check, and I mean, if I go here though, I was gonna say here we'd probably die, and we do die, but here, I guess he can take here because that also defended this, yeah. No good, no good. I was thinking here, but yeah, this is apparently better because here at least we have this move. Okay, it's not so obvious, not so obvious. You have to find a crazy defense. Plan so crazy it might just work. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I probably didn't see it, but maybe he saw it and didn't sort of like this and that, but I doubt it. Anyways, it's a kind of a good defensive puzzle for you to solve. How to deal with f7. Blacks up a piece and a pawn, but he's about to get checkmated, and then you have to find this, and this is probably, I was looking at this stuff actually, like I'll get some play with this, but I assume I'm just completely busted here because we're still down a pawn and a piece. Yeah, this is not gonna be anything. Yeah. Anyways, he played bishop, rook, knight here. I don't know. He probably hallucinated something because I was also hallucinating how the X-rays work on this file here. Like maybe he thinks he can take here and then take back and be down on exchange. But X-rays don't work that way. The rook. Also, I was hallucinating that the rook has to actually take back here and he gets to somehow defend. I don't know. Very hard for me to see, and maybe it was hard for them to see too. But yeah, here we just take with the queen and there is nothing you can do about the checkmating view. Or as in the game went here, my opponent resigned because of this, and then either way you go, this is gonna be a checkmate. And of course the corner is not gonna save you because then it's the checkmate here. Anyways, horrible game, but lucky and whatever. Thanks for watching, and ciao.